Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Trade Talks Live. Where we get to come, hang out, talk trades each and every day for an hour. And one of the things that Dad taught me, that Roger Wakefield, that wisdom of mustache guy, yeah. He's out today. He's out speaking on stage up in Oklahoma at ASA. But, one of the things that he taught me is try to learn a little bit each and every day about your trade to make you a little better than everybody else. And if you're constantly learning, trying to figure out the new things, the latest and greatest, you're keeping yourself ahead. And that's something that we like to do here on this show. So if it's your first time, welcome. Appreciate you tuning in. If you're back, man, glad to have you back in here. Happy freaking Thursday. Oh, the week's almost done, guys, but we're not there yet. Okay. So stay a little focused, keep on track. We'll be there soon. But we do. We've got Dad. He's up in Oklahoma. Should be heading back later today. Ended up having him speak yesterday and today. Working out very well. I am Henry Wakefield, aka Squirt, as you see down here on the screen. Roger Wakefield's my dad. He's normally on here with me. It's just me today, so we're going to get to have some fun. I was a 20-year pipe fitter by trade. My whole family's plumbers now, and that's why I run LeakPro now. I get to build the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. And we'd like to thank LeakPro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks, where check out the complete kit, guys. If you are a plumber out there and you aren't doing leak detection, just got off the phone with a guy a minute ago. People that he normally sends his leak detection out to 8 weeks out. That is ridiculous. Just like he said, look, I can't have my customers waiting this long. You're right. I build the right tools. I also do training here. Check out our equipment at leak.pro. That's our website. Easy as that. Leak.pro. Or give me a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. I'd appreciate it if you waited until after the show, though. You can call now and leave a message, though. I'll be fine with that. But we want to thank LeakPro. And, man, thanks for tuning in. If you've got friends in the trade, they need to learn a little bit, tune in occasionally, or hang out in bullcrap, this is the right spot. Share it with them. Tell them to drop in, subscribe so that you stay notified whenever we go live Monday through Fridays. But we're going to get rolling over here into the national news and kick things off with some big news out of California. Major utilities breaking ground on a $1.2 billion natural gas line replacement project. Now, guys, this isn't just a few miles of pipe. We're talking over 400 miles of aging infrastructure here. It's running straight through the wildfire-prone areas in Northern and Central California. Okay? And why does this matter? Think back to the Paradise Fire in 2018. Investigators found gas leaks that fueled parts of the blaze and complicated emergency response. The new project, it's aimed squarely at preventing that. Going through and fixing everywhere it's been leaking and having issues. But out with that brittle cast iron and the bare steel, and in with modern coated steel and HDPE lines. Everything's changing. More modern, new composites. Everything's coming out. So this is going to be pretty good. But they're not just swapping pipe. They're adding automatic shutoff valves and remote sensors to help, guys. And this is big because seconds matter in an emergency. And if it's automated valves that are automatically shutting off, if something changes in these high wildfire areas, this is going to be huge at preventing more from happening. But from a trades perspective, this means that thousands of jobs, certified pipe welders, fitters, inspectors, QC, you're going to have to get a lot of OQ qualified crews that are going to be in high demand. And, if I heard that they'll be using helicopter stringing and directional drilling to get the lines through those rugged mountain corridors, It is so fun working with helicopters in construction. It's pretty freaking cool at some of the things that we get to do being tradespeople. And most people have no clue, and that's what I love about it. But here's the question. If you're a welder or a fitter, would you consider relocating for 2 or 3 years to work a project like this? One that's big, massive, last a long time. I know pipeline welders that love to go on a long duration project. Some that want those short, quick burns. I'm going out, I'm hitting the road 2-3 months, and I'm coming back and I'm going to hang out for a month and not work. Or just work 40 hours and not have to work the overtime, kick back, relax, and enjoy life and go on some vacations. But the opportunity is there. And it's the kind of job that shapes a career, guys. If you go in and you learn massive pipelines and staging this, getting everything in order, and it's a lot of ducks to line up, directional boring, things like that for the underground, you can learn some really cool stuff out there. And I love to see this. It's going to help keep fitters and welders pretty busy. Matt, good morning, brother. How's it going? Happy Thirsty Thursday. Go LeakPro, man. Love it. Hope you have a wonderful day ahead of you today. Adam M down here joining union in a few months. Man, good deal. Which union are you joining? Which type? What trade? There's a lot of them out there, but I was local 100 for 20 years. Matt says that would be awesome. Shut off before it becomes a hazard. I don't mind relocating, but California is not in that bucket list. I agree. But like work-wise, I'll do some traveling, even to California. Did that for LeakPro I think I was out there about 6 weeks, learning the ins and outs of LeakPro, the training center that was there, how to beef that up, make it a little more difficult, and relocate it here. And that's what we ended up doing, which is real awesome. I don't mind it temporarily. I was born and raised in Texas, and I love living here. So, that's just me. Gen X Plumber, good morning, Squirt. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you, brother. I hope everything is going great. And anybody of y'all that are wondering, Dad's up in Oklahoma speaking at the ASA conference, Subcontractors Association, and spoke yesterday, speaking today too. He may pop in later. I'm not sure. Not too worried about it though. Let's get rolling over here into the bottom line, okay? And tracking crew efficiency with digital dashboards. And I think this is cool, especially now that we do have digitals. I remember out in our fab shop, they would have a whiteboard that they would keep track of how many inches a welder was welding. And they kept track. It was a competition every month. Every quarter, the welder with the most inches won a welding machine for home to be able to take on the road and go hit pipelines with and things like that in their future. Really cool way to do it and gamify the productivity in the shop. Quality still had to be the same, and that's one thing that you've got to watch for here. But, let's talk money and efficiency here. A lot of contractors are moving from that paper time sheet to real-time crew dashboards. Okay, tons of stuff out there to track all this. But the platforms let you see hours worked versus your budgeted hours. You've got to track all the cost codes, all the things down to every little task the best you can, because then you're really going to know how your estimates match to the work going in. Production rates, even your safety compliance, all on that one sheet. Everything's laid out together. That's how I've laid out LeakPro is I've got everything on one spreadsheet to track all of my information on. Now, there's a lot of things that feed into that one sheet and page, but it's easy. It's all in one spot. And that's what really is nice, having some of these softwares. But there's a piping contractor down in Houston that started logging daily spool installs digitally. Within 6 months, they cut rework 20%. And guys, your clients are going to love this too, because if you're billing percent complete, you have that visual proof of progress. No more arguments at the invoice time. It's one of my things that PMs love about this stuff. Whenever you're on big projects, it's like, well, no, here's the exact percent of this system that we have installed. Here's the percent of this system. Here's the percent of this system. Yeah, that's why we're billing at these. There's no arguing, because you can show the true percent that is installed. Now, the other argument for them, if you're on the other side of that, is it all tested yet? Because don't forget about that. That's going to be part of it. It needs to be calculated in. Estimator brain there. But here's the catch. Okay, bad data in, it's going to give you bad inside out. You've got to train your guys to log it accurately. Like I said about the cost codes, down to every simple little task that you possibly can. That's going to give you better information later on how you need to bid it in the future. You can pass that on to the estimator. If that's not you, give this feedback, pass it along to the PMs, to the estimators, feed it back the same way it goes in so that you can catch it on the front end and cover yourself better in the future, or tighter. If you've got a lot of extra hours because you learned a new material that was able to use on the spec, teach the estimator that at how much it saved. Yeah, we spent more on material, but we saved on labor, and labor's the big cost for some systems. Older workers, some think it's micromanagement. Once they see that it saves time and eliminates that rework, most of your old school guys, they're going to come around to this. Okay, the ROI, it's real. Most companies say that these dashboards pay for themselves in 3 to 6 months. If you're not tracking your crew digitally, you're already behind. Like I said, we did a whiteboard out in the shop, and everybody just logged how many inches they had a day, and it was tallied up at the end of every week, and it fed over to this other whiteboard that calculated it for the quarters to figure out where everybody ranked and who was where. Really freaking cool way to do it, and love to see that we're cruising the right ways. Let's see, over here we've got Matt. Travel is a wonderful way to be a part of the cause, for sure. Man, it is. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's nice just to get away and be able to go and just work in a town that you don't really know. Adam in New Jersey, maybe bricklayer, HVAC, or elevator. Haven't made up your mind yet. Nice. Okay, so quite a few options ahead. Cool deal. Out of the three I see there, elevator will probably pay the most. It does involve a lot of travel, though. So up in New Jersey, HVAC, I was a pipe fitter, so I worked with the HVAC guys. I didn't do the duct. I did the piping side and the big equipment, and I loved it. Had a great time, made some really good money too. So honestly, it's the one that's going to make you the happiest, the one that you enjoy the most. That's where I would head, but try them all. Get a little experience, do some research on them, and figure out which one you might enjoy the most. Matt, you want that quiet? Sometimes. Start at the elevator union first, then the others. Elevator unions have the best consistent high paying and benefits, or try a little of everything. It worked for me out in the field. Man, that's it. Like I was a pipe fitter, but I was thinking about joining the elevator union after I got all my years in for retirement, because you can draw a quick one in the elevator union with few years, because the way everything's set up, and it's amazing. It's a really good union, really good guys. I know a lot of the elevator guys. So pretty cool. We'll get rolling on over here into safety. PPE upgrades, okay? Cut resistant sleeves for your pipe crews. When you're threading stuff, like all these studs went to metal, and I used to wear long sleeve all the time because I was a fitter, but guess what? I'm in Texas. There's a lot of heat, so I would end up, sorry about that, guys. Let me get those cameras rotating. The cut resistant gloves when you're working in the metal studs. So nice. I've seen arms filleted at times by not having the right sleeves, but it's safety. And piping guys, we're moving a lot. When you're doing threaded pipe, especially, your arms are constantly going. And if something slips, I know you've never had a pipe wrench slip. You don't know what that arm's going to grab on. If you're in those metal studs, it's going to grab the studs. So you do want to have a set of safety protective sleeves in your box. I used to keep it keep them a set around once I realized how nice they were to have. And I was in a lot of t-shirts out working on jobs because of the heat. But you know, the sharp edges, threading dies, hot chips, all this stuff. It's great to have these quick sleeves that you just throw on temporarily while you're in those dangerous spaces. You know, not too dangerous, but more dangerous for sure. Latest upgrade is the cut resistant sleeves, guys. And they aren't the bulky Kevlar mitts from back in the day. These are actual breathable HPPE blends. They're lightweight. They're comfortable with thumb loops so that they don't ride up. Keeps them in space. And if you're like me, it's 100% gloves. So your gloves holding it there too to keep it locked in. So contractor that I knew mandated them after 3 laceration injuries in 1 quarter. Guess what? Recordable incidents dropped 40% overnight, the day that they made that decision and the new rule was put into place. But at $15 to $25 a pair, that's cheap insurance compared to a hospital bill, guys. Injuries are not cheap. They can keep you off of great jobs. But whenever you combine these sleeves with the proper gloves, eye protection, guarding on the machines, don't take off the guards, unless it's a tight spot, and then put it right back on. Threading goes from one of the most hazardous shop tasks to one of the safest. Okay. My cousin, his favorite thing about threading pipe is the pipe wrench is slipping and breaking his nose all the time. Yeah, it's all right. It happens. But if you're still bare arming it around that rigid 535, it's time to step up, guys. Don't wait until you've got stitches to realize that PPE has come a long way. Use it, okay? I'm used to the heat. I know how it is, but having those quick sleeves to throw on for whenever you do need a little extra arm protection, it's nice to have around and handy. Because Scott, good morning. Hope everything is going great in your world today. Happy Thursday, everybody. Those of y'all tuning in on all the Roger Wakefield stuff, I kidnapped him and locked him in the dungeon. No, I'm kidding. Really, he's up in Oklahoma speaking on the ASA conference. They ended up having him speak yesterday and today. So ended up talking for a little bit. Matt over here, story time. Had a tech doing welding. Went and got his jacket, came back, did some welding. The tech took over. I said, "Where's your jacket?" Then he burned himself on the stainless. Be safe and use PPE. Man, me too, Matt. And all right, here. Yeah, okay, quick story time, side story. Here we go. Talking about t-shirt and welding, sleeves or not. I remember as an apprentice, the first opportunity I got to actually weld on the job for some fabrications that were going in. They're like, "Well, we know you're in, you know, I've talked to your instructor. I know you're pretty good. Yeah. You want to weld? Yeah, I'll weld. All right. You know, after lunch. Yeah. Sounds great." So I scrounged up a hood. I had no sleeves. I had no gloves. I had no nothing. I ran around gathering everything up and I'm out there welding in a t-shirt. Yeah. Boss comes out. What are you doing? Hey, I am not passing up this opportunity to be able to weld. Okay. I am okay. I'm fine. I'm watching what I'm doing. I'm in the jacks. It's nothing crazy. No position welds. So we're good. I'm fine. And he started laughing. He goes, "You don't have your sleeves, do you?" I said, "No, they're actually at home. I actually pulled my weld bucket out because I was doing something with the kids. So it's at home. I don't have welding till later at the end of the week. Not this early in the week." So yeah, I emptied it last weekend. "Dude, go out to my truck, grab a shirt. I got one out there. Get it. Be safe. Come on, you're fine." But he was laughing because he's like, "You know what? As an apprentice, I would have done the same thing. Definitely not scared to get in that fire, but be smart about it for sure." Fun times though. And yes, Matt, I've leaned up on some hot, fresh welds and burnt the tar out of myself, not knowing what was going on in the place that I walked up to. So I'm always trying to watch that whenever people come into my area. It's like, "Hey, that's hot. Careful." Because I don't want them leaning on it because, man, I've taken some bad burns from that. Let's move on in here to new construction. Speaking of some burns, I'm going to talk about some work that'll probably get some people burned. Hydrogen pipeline pilot projects. Okay. Now, There's big buzz in the construction world right now, and it is hydrogen pipelines. Okay. Department of Energy is funding 3 corridors, Midwest and the Gulf Coast leading the way. But here's the technical challenge, guys. Hydrogen is notorious for embrittling steel. That means material selection is critical. Welders working on this projects will need to follow the ASME B31.12 hydrogen piping standards. These procedures are stricter, and the qualification tests are no joke. And guys, most qualification tests that I've been involved in are no joke. It's 100% X-ray for 0 flaws, period. That's most of the welders I know. That's what we're passing. It's not just a bend test. Some of them are, but most of them, it's 100% X-ray to get that certification. But forecasts suggest that we're going to see $10 billion in hydrogen pipeline investments by 2030, guys. That's just a few years away. And that's on top of all the natural gas and the water work that we're already busy and tied up with. If you're a fitter, this is worth paying attention to, guys. Skills overlap with the natural gas pipelines, but you're going to need some extra training on this. That means extra certifications, retraining on the new alloys, and likely some new NDE methods like hydrogen specific UT. Point is if you're young in the trade and you're looking ahead, hydrogen could be the work that carries you into the next 20 years. And guys, that is no joke. If you are a youngster, get in it, become the hydrogen specialist. Know more about hydrogen than anybody else. You become the hydrogen guy that everybody wants to talk to and consult with. That's where you want to be. That's a good spot to set yourself up. Let's see what we got over here. Adam over here. Thanks, Matt. Sounding good. Looking forward to making a move into my career as a 21-year-old. Yeah, man, definitely so. Arc welding in a t-shirt, shorts, and flip-flops. A talented skill, but it took me no time to go. Oh, hell no. Man, all right, yeah, here we go. See, we talk weld stories, man. I was a pipe fitter, y'all. Had a welder one time. He went overseas to do some working out on an island to do some repair stuff. And there really were guys in flip-flops and shorts just dancing while they were welding so that the beads did not burn in between their toes. I was just like, holy cow. Now that is commitment to welding. But they say on the islands, that's pretty normal. They don't put on jeans and boots every time to do all that. Nope, they'll sit there and dance. So pretty cool to see how things are done in different spots, man. Let's move on in here to mindset growth, okay? Now, Matt, you're going to know something about this one for sure. Mental toughness during 60-hour weeks, okay? Now, guys, it's a mental game, but we've all been there. 60-hour weeks, trying to get a shutdown wrapped up. Body's getting tired. It's the mind that makes mistakes, though. Okay? Injury rates spike after a 50-hour work week. You have to stay sharp during this. And first thing that you want to try to do, schedule 5-minute resets every couple hours. Step away, stretch, breathe. It's not wasted time. It's insurance against mistakes. I always call it clearing the mind real quick. Every so often, stop, take a walk to the water cooler, reset everything so that you come back and do that 360 awareness again. Reassess the situation as to what's going on and where you're at, and think about it. Nutrition matters too, okay? Energy drinks, donuts, that'll get you to 10 a.m., but they could bury you by 2 p.m. Unless you drink a whole lot more, and it is too much. Hydration and protein are what actually keep you steady, guys. Drink tons of water. I learned that, you can have an energy drink occasionally, sure. Drink tons of water to go with it, though. You don't want to freaking crash. One journeyman I worked with used to rotate between the fab shop and the field. He swore it was the only way to keep his mind fresh on long outages. Okay? The bottom line goes, toughness isn't about grinding until you break. It's about pacing yourself so you don't finish strong without cutting corners. And the best thing whenever you are working long days over and over, day in, day out, get on a schedule, a routine. You know, that was one of the things, like I worked 7/12s, 3.5 months solid. A couple months in, my apprentice just looks over at me. He's like, Henry, I don't get it. What? You're like a machine. You don't stop. Like, we've been working 7 days for months. These other fitters, whoa, don't compare me to these other fitters. What do you mean? Well, I mean, they get their welder going and they sit down and pull out the paper and do a crossword till the welder's done. And then they start getting the next thing ready. You don't do that. I said, Gary, we don't let our welder leave his hood up that long. When it comes up, it's time to put it right back down, right? Yeah. We keep production going. It was a game every day. I said, look, that welder's job, luckily we had the fastest one on the job, is to try to outweld us. And it's our job to try to keep his hood down all day, every day for the whole time that we are on this project. Gary, you down for that? Yeah. I'm just saying, I can't believe you just keep going. I said, look, he's not going to stop. We're not going to stop. We're going to keep this going. We're not going to let it mess with our minds. We're going to take that reset occasionally and keep going. But it's just keeping that next step going. Look, there's another piece that we got to build. There's another weld we got to make. It's not stopping. We were doing a data center. There were thousands to be done. So there was no rush in trying to get to the end. We're just going to keep on this strong, steady pace. Don't try to speed it up. Don't try to slow it down. Keep that steady pace going. And then the days just kind of start to blend. But definitely pretty cool. Matt over here, welding's a great skill to have. Mental. I am mental for sure. It's called autopilot for most. Yes. Meditation is a great way to celebrate your thinking process on 80-hour work weeks. Oh, to calibrate. Yeah, your thinking process. Man, that's for sure. It takes some clarity and just thinking about that next step. And that's one of the things that I learned being an apprentice. Try to be planned ahead on that next step. Be ready for that next step all the time. And that feeds into everything. Okay. Keep moving forward. Keep doing good things. We'll get rolled over here. I want to say thanks to LeakPro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. And guys, leaks don't wait. Why do your customers need to? All these leak detection guys, and I hear from all these plumbers telling me everywhere that they call it 6 to 8 weeks. Do you need your customers waiting 6 to 8 weeks? I understand they can get the money back for that leak, but guess what? If that leak causes foundation issues from that 8 weeks, there's bigger problems than worried about getting paid back for the water that was leaking. Bring leak detection in-house. And that's why I run LeakPro. It's for plumbers. It's the reason I do it. It's why I build my kits. Can leak detection guys use it? Sure can. To do exactly what they want? Sure can. Is that who I geared it for? No. Plumbers. Why? We need to hear where the leak's at, guys. I offer a training here just outside of Dallas, Texas. If you don't know how to do leak detection, give me a call. Come spend a couple days with me. I'll teach you how to locate lines. I'll teach you how to pinpoint locate leaks under a slab, outside of a slab, even how to determine where a sewer system's leaking, all from the double clean out outside. If you're ready to bring leak detection in-house and quit making your customers wait, you can check out the complete kit at our website, leak.pro. That's what I suggest. It's got both pieces of equipment. That way you're covered for outdoor yard leaks and anything under a slab, whether that's the driveway or a home on a slab. Check out the complete kit at leak.pro. But for the training, just give me a call, 1-8888-LEAK-PRO, and let's talk about how we can actually come out, spend a couple days with me, learn how to take 130,000 square 8-inch slab and be able to tell me, here's where the leak is. And you're going to be in the hole every time. I'll run you through 30 to 50 leaks out here, guys. So give me a call. Let's get you trained so that you can handle leak detection yourself. Man, that's it. Let's see. Go LeakPro and Roger Wakefield Plumbing Education. Like and subscribe. You won't regret it. That's for sure. You know, get to hang out, meet some really good people around here. Matt, yeah, we'll get you out here and train you up real quick. It'll be a good one to have. But here we go. Let's move into all trades. Okay. Who cores the holes? Let's avoid finger pointing. I used to love this argument whenever I was younger in my apprenticeship. And there were times that we actually ran the core drilling machine and core drilled holes. But it's one of my favorite job site classics. Who cores the holes? Is it the plumbing, the electrical, the GC? Do you hire a specialty coring sub that works for all of them? What is it? You really want to know this on the front end, especially for the estimators, because if you got to do the cores yourself, you better have it covered. I used to do it as an adder or an add alternate on a lot of my projects. The cost isn't small, though. $100 a hole, that adds up real quick. If nobody claims that responsibility, finger pointing game starts. Oh, I wasn't responsible. They are. Oh, no, they are. Best practice here, guys, spell it out in the pre-construction and in the contract. Does your is it on your inclusions or your exclusions of your contract? Did you include or exclude core drilling holes? You have to call this out. It is so important. Some GCs assign all coring to one subcontractor. They give them the print. Here, you are the core for the job for all these trades. Here's the plans. Get ready. Others push it down to the trades. I've been on that end. I like being in control of my core holes personally. You really want to get smart. Team up with the other contractors when you go to hire that core driller so that you bring them out. And in the same trip that drills everybody holes, that'll help save a little money on actually bringing them out. They will split that cost. So learn some of this, guys. Technology helps here, though. BIM coordination lets you mark penetrations before the pour ever happens. Okay. Embeds, sleeves, install them before. Done it many times. I'm a piping guy. I worked a lot of shafts and chases. I was the guy that had to set a lot of our sleeves. Okay, you know exactly where it's supposed to be before that pour, though. I love BIM. But I've seen what happens when somebody skips that step. Coring too close to post-tension cables. You've compromised the structure. I was in a hospital one time, went to help do a shutdown and everything. An apprentice dragged me down. Somebody had core drilled through the main beam in the basement. Check your holes. I've been the poor kid. Oh yeah, I'm going to drill it right there. I'll just hold that bucket up. I'm holding the bucket and then it starts coring through the edge of the bucket and I've got to pull it down, move it over and get it set up right. And it's like, dude, but lesson learned there, always drill a core hole. Period. But there was a case where a GC got fined when an unapproved core cut a PT tendon. That's thousands of dollars a week and weeks lost. It's a major setback to go back and fix that where it actually blew out. Because, oh, yeah, I've seen the ends blown out. Not good. The lesson here, though, is decide early, document it, and coordinate it so that the field guys aren't left holding that bag, trying to put their pipe through a solid piece of concrete. It's not good. Know who is responsible for the cores. Make sure that they're set and ready. Story time: mounted a core driller to a handicap power chain. Made it easy to maneuver a large floor in the casinos. Man, okay. I like it. ours was on wheels. We locked it down everywhere, but I worked clean room, semiconductor, things like that. And that's where we got to actually do our core drilling, which is really cool. But I've done a lot in hospitals and stuff like that. I was the core catcher a lot as an apprentice because I was smart and I would pay attention and actually do what I was told. So a lot of guys loved using me. They're like, hey, come here. I want you to catch this core for me. Get down here. We'll get rolled over here into laws and license. New refrigerant and piping transport rules, guys. Okay. Regulation. I know. We don't like it. But guess what? We got to stay on top of it. But the EPA is finalizing rules on the A2L refrigerants, guys. Okay. They're mildly flammable and they're hitting the market this year. They already have. DOT has some new transport rules too, though. Cylinders need updated labeling and design. That means your old stock of recovery tanks, it's not going to cut it anymore. On site, these refrigerants require A2L rated recovery machines and leak detectors. Oh, do I need to start building those? You can't store cylinders in hot trucks. They need shaded, ventilated areas. This is going to change the game, guys, especially around here. I'm in Texas. Everything's a hot truck. But fines are on the table if you're sloppy with how you're actually doing this. You are going to have to find out how they want you to store it in your areas and find out so that you can stay in your regulation. But this ties into the Kigali agreement, phasing down the HFCs, and it's not optional, guys. It's coming fast. Contractors who jump on the compliance now can market themselves as A2L ready and scoop up work from competitors who drag their feet on this, guys. We talk about that a lot, embracing the new things that are coming, being able to market yourself as ready for the changes. You know, we talk about EV. Guess what? If you're EV, market yourself for that, especially if you know a lot of eco-friendly communities that you work in. People are going to love that. They're going to reach out to you more than everybody else because you lean into their beliefs. So definitely check that out, man. Go ahead and roll over here into business training. This is one of my favorites. Building repeat industrial contracts. Okay. If you've ever worked in industrial, you know the holy grail is repeat contracts. I did tons of work direct for owners. A lot of our superintendents in the industrial space, direct for owners. A lot of those owners wanted that same person running jobs on their facility. Okay. These clients, they don't want 20 different contractors. They want that trusted partner. Okay. It's what I love about the industrial space is you really get to build strong relationships because you're helping them figure things out also. Okay. But that means safety record, front and center. Okay. Your TRIR, your EMR, those are deal breakers. Industrial space, like I talk about a lot in here, your TCR has to be less than 1. Some less than 0.5%. And that's based on thousands of man hours and all that stuff. I'd have to look up the calculation. It's ridiculous. They want to know that up in front that you are safe. You work in serious facilities and your guys work safely. That is very important to a lot of these customers, especially these direct owners. Okay. Consistency, that matters too. If you can send the same crew back year after year, that client sees stability. One of the guys that we have based out of Texas works in Oklahoma year round, all the time now. That's the only place he works. Why? Because that's who they want. Because he does everything for them. He helps them. He's built that relationship. They don't want somebody else. That's who they want. I got this a lot in projects where I was at, where the plant engineers I was working for were like, hey, could you come do some layout over on this other project? I know that y'all didn't get it, but I really want to know that these tanks are exactly where I want them. Could you just do some verification for me? Sure, do you want me to do it in their face or do you want me to wait till they go to lunch? The call's yours, bud. But I will be happy to go and verify that it is exactly where it's supposed to be, because I know you have doubts in them. But he had no control on who got the work or not. He tried to pass on his knowledge and information because he's like, look, I don't have to worry about this guy. This guy handles it. I don't have to doubt. This other company, I got to worry about every little thing they do. I've got to be over there for an hour or two every day. Major thing here, though, is add value. Offer inspections. Preventative maintenance. Be proactive. Okay, I know a shop up in Ohio that had the same refinery client for 10 years because they built trust, went above the bare minimum. Little extra goes a long way. Me helping that guy check those tanks, that just showed how much faith he had in me and belief. And I picked up a lot of extra work out there because of who I was and what we did. Shutdown came, guess what? I had to break my company rules and work over the 12, 14 hours, whatever our cutoff was, because everything was shut down. And we were done with our work. But since the other contractor still wasn't done, he asked me, man, could you really keep your guys and help them finish this, please? On T&M, yeah, I can. Let me call the office because they're going to be pissed at me for letting the guys work. But I knew who I had. I knew the crew. I knew exactly what we were doing. And it's like, look, guys, here's how we're going to do this. Let's plan this work and work this plan just like we do everything else we do so that we all stay safe, even with our minds wore out because it's been a long day. But let's get this plant up and running because that's the important part. This is our customer. When I told my boss that, they're like, just keep your guys safe. I will. Nobody will get hurt. We're not working like that. It's nothing crazy. It's pretty simple stuff we're doing, boss. Good. Extra eyes, please. So we had 2 spotters to drive the lift around and things like that. Put extra things into place because we knew where we were mentally. But it's about playing that long game, guys. Industrial contractors, they smooth out the feast or famine cycle, and they give you a steady backlog of work. Like I said, that dude believed in me. He had faith in me. Guess what? He wanted me to do every little project he could possibly sneak me in to handling without the head office being able to say no. So it was really cool. We got a lot of things done for him, but that built that relationship. And I'm sure that they're still doing work down in that plant, guaranteed. So build that strong relationship because it really does make repeat work. You can also set up maintenance plans with these people where you're going out and you're actually checking on the stuff that's going on. Heard of this happening, but they have released a regulation date for the new changes in our jurisdiction. It's a great journeyman. Man, for sure, bud. Moving on in here to vehicles. Something I learned a lot about. Securing gas cylinders on service trucks, guys. Okay, it's a safety and an image issue. Gas cylinders. I see a ton of them sitting loose in the truck beds, kind of angled, sitting on a pile of junk, leads, all sorts of stuff. Guys, that's honestly a missile waiting to launch. That's all it is. If that cap pops just right, it will fly off and it will turn it into a missile depending on what you got in the bottle. But OSHA says upright, capped, and chained. Guys, DOT enforces this too. One of my favorite setups was on our welding rigs that we had. They had this door that was a ramp that folded down, and you could actually roll your bottle cart up and into this little cubby spot, lock it in place. Oh, it was so great. Made it a whole lot easier. I've dealt with loose bottles a lot also. Okay. The best setups, they use racks or cages. My truck that I used when I was superintendent, I didn't have the fancy welding truck. I just had a normal truck. So I'd have to get bottles in there, stand them up, tie them off to the racks, lock it down, and all that stuff. You can build them out inside the rig. Okay. There's a Houston contractor that got hit with a $50,000 in damages after an acetylene tank rolled and blew. Guys, that'll ruin your week, month. That's a bad day and something that should not happen. Okay, but beyond just the safety part, let's look at the perception here. If a client sees a clean, organized service truck with cylinders secured properly, that builds trust. Sloppy rigs that pull up, you look like an amateur. You don't know what you're doing. Something I talk to a lot of customers, that's the reason that we put the pride we did into the LeakPro case and how professional it looks. We want you to look like a professional on the job. We do not want you to look like you're pulling out some toy to try to find a leak and fix their problem. No. We want you to look like the professional that you are. But take a weekend. Weld in some racks. Lock it down. It pays off. Most people that have bottles and deal with them, y'all are creative enough. I know you can build something. You can lock something in. And guys, it really does. If you actually take the time and build out something right, it saves you a lot of time in the future. Like the little ramp thing I was talking about. That made things so easy for the retro group. Because you could leave almost everything there. Boom. All right. Yeah. I had my hoses wrapped, everything with a long hose because a lot of retro, you had to stretch out in some spaces. All my regulators and stuff were locked up in a box. No big deal. So, pretty cool. Aga Hidaro, anyone from Seattle? I'm not. We're from Texas here, but hello in Seattle. Matt over here, gas cylinders are no joke, especially when it falls on your foot. Oh, yeah. Haha, I see so many people just throw the bottle and be like, it's okay. I'm like, the heck is this? Man, I was that little stout apprentice that used to have to carry bottles upstairs to get them from floor to floor because there were no elevators during my install part. Elevator guys hadn't hit the projects yet, but I have moved a lot of cylinders manually. And I learned to walk bottles very well, where you just angle it and you just kick it and kick it and kick it and kick it, and it'll walk itself. Bet you can't do that, though. You're not supposed to anymore. Everything's changed. All right, let's roll over here to social media, guys. And today it's Thursday, so we got some HVAC fun. Today we've got the DIY HVAC guy. Do you DIY your HVAC? If you want to, he'll teach you. DIY HVAC guy here. 293 videos. 423,000 subs. This channel started back in 2017. So about 8 years, back in March. So yeah, a little over 8. So cruising along about as long as Rogers had his channel. 423,000 subs with over 68 million views. Doing some good things. This is America's #1 source for quality, affordable HVAC equipment. So that means we're going to be talking about some equipment in here for sure. But let's jump over here to videos, guys. We're going to start out in the oldest, back where it all began for this channel. How to DIY UV light install. Man, back 3 years ago. Okay. Oh, 3 years ago. So the channel was started, but the videos possibly could have been done and taken down. Not sure. But he's built a big following by breaking down residential HVAC in a way that homeowners can understand, while you still keep that pro level respect. Okay. And back when he started, a lot of channels we see, other stuff too. Or is the camera any good? Doing some different reviews, different ways to clean, take care of your system. maintenance. Most popular here. Keep your family warm during a power outage by installing this $5 part. I have to check this out because I'm kind of curious what all they're feeding in here to do it, but I think it's to keep this generator going, and it's giving them a way to plug it in. Not for sure. But his capacitor replacement video hit like 500,000. And what I like is how he balances teaching the DIYers and reinforces why pros are still necessary. Some things we know are DIY possible. Yes. We create a lot of videos on the plumbing side to help customers be able to fix their own things. But then we also create some videos that's like, look, at what point do you stop DIY and just call in the professional? And that's what they want to show here. And I love that because it's a good thing to know. If you are mechanically background, you may be able to do some things a little further on DIY, but not all of them. But for tradespeople, he's a great model and approachable, yet an authoritative content. And if you've been thinking about posting, take a look at his style. There's a blueprint there for building your own brand, kind of like we've done. Get on here, check it out. You know, some of the latest stuff he's doing. The most common reason why a gas furnace won't turn on. You know, it's about to be wintertime, yeah? He's getting ready for the season. Starting to put the videos out there. 6,000 views 4 days ago. Not bad. Just getting started. It's going to pick up more as the temperature goes down. See what we got going on over here in shorts real quick. Full video on how to set this up. Looks like a generator possibly. Yeah. A tri-fuel generator. Okay. Run as a tri-fuel generator. If your buckets get stuck, oh yeah, you don't even have to have that. You can just have an air compressor and shoot air between them. Showing you simple tricks. And guys, if you have issues with buckets being stuck together, you should really get on and check this out. Little air, it breaks that seal. It's so freaking cool. I've seen it on other channels and stuff, not necessarily like that with the computer duster. But that's something that works really well, guys, on shorts is little tips and tricks. You want to build your brand? Go check out some of the formats and styles that these people are doing and things. He's doing some tool breakdowns. Check out Harbor Freight tools, cheap tools, not even a big deal. How can you use them? What's the right place to use them? Are they any good or not? Doing some different things out on socials to show what we're doing, teach what you're doing, show people how you do things. One of my favorite things on socials is getting on there and posting things you're actually doing. And that's something that works really freaking well. But DIY HVAC guy, you know, one of the things you can use social media for is to promote you, to promote your company, where you work, to promote the work and quality that you put out. Take a picture of that last install. Make a quick video talking about it with some voiceover and put the video out. Let your family see it. Let them see what's going on. Got kids? Show it to them. Who cares if they like it? That's how we get them interested in trades, in building things and doing stuff like that. So pretty freaking cool. Now we'll move on in here to best practices. And, you know, this segment is sponsored by Residential Service Professionals, guys. And this isn't just another consultant group, okay? These are real tradespeople who have scaled businesses and now they coach others. Okay? You're getting pricing calculators to help speed everything up. Trying to figure out how to do it right in your area, this is going to help you figure out the right pricing. SOP checklist, hiring frameworks to help you learn the right way so that you get the right people and you're getting the right things done by the right employees. Tools that are built for you, not just generic business templates, or for trades, service, doing the things that we actually do as tradespeople. And that's what I love here. But you also get the community. Okay. There's weekly coaching calls of people that are going through the same stuff you are. Private groups, some workshops that go on, and a crew that actually gets it. They've been there. They've done that. They understand what you're doing. They want to help you build your dream. And if you're tired of trial and error, this is a shortcut. It's going to help speed up the process. Okay. Don't waste years reinventing the wheel. Plug into what works and grow with confidence. Check out residentialserviceprofessionals.com. And it's something way different. But that's how it goes. Get out there and get some help. That's something that I've learned ever since I started working with Dad and everything, and it's something that we promote a lot on this channel is learn a little more about everything that you're doing. And that's something that we consistently do day in and day out. Learn, but then also the things that you learn that you can pass on to others, you try to pass that on. That's why I do what I do now. That's why I teach LeakPro. That's why I build tools. I love to build things and I love to teach. And that's what life in the trades has taught me. I love building something new. That's why I've got other projects that I'm working on, new tools to try to get built. But you don't have to reinvent everything here for your business. Go through, learn from some people that have learned it. They can pass on the knowledge. That's something I pass on, even in like LeakPro training. Some question I get, how do I promote this in my area? Look, we'll talk to you about the marketing on it. That's part of the training too. We want to help you set yourself up for success. So we would like to thank LeakPro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks, where we get to come in here, hang out for an hour each and every day, Monday through Friday, except for major holidays. I do like a day off occasionally. But at LeakPro, we build the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. And when I say the system, guys, I'm talking about the complete kit. It comes with both pieces of equipment that I build. I build a probe, T-handle style, solid block of aluminum up top with a stainless steel rod. It's super durable for probing in and out of the ground. This is what we prefer for that meter to the home service, irrigation lines, anything underground. If there's a slab on that ground, though, you're going to want the sidekick that comes in that complete kit. It's the pistol grip style with an aluminum rod, and that aluminum rod, it's a less dense metal, so it enhances the sound even better. And what I mean even better is it eliminates the layer of concrete so that you can still hear the leak underneath and be able to pinpoint locate it. So check out the complete kit at our website, leak.pro. But also, if you're not familiar with how to do leak detection, give me a call because I offer a 2-day in-person training here just outside of Dallas, Texas. I've got a slab out there. It's 130,000 square inches. I'll teach you how to pinpoint locate leaks within 12. We call that in the hole. I'm going to cut a 2x2 hole. You come out here. I'll teach you how to locate the lines, pinpoint locate the leaks under the slab, outside of the slab, even in sewer systems. And guys, while you're here for a couple days, I will run you through 30 to 50 leaks so that we can build your confidence on knowing exactly how to go to a job and let the leak guide you to it. If you're ready to bring leak detection in-house yourself, give me a call at 1-8888-LEAKPRO. I'd love to talk about the equipment or the training and how we can help you in your business. Or you can check out the website, leak.pro. And everybody, Roger will be back in here tomorrow. It's been a couple good days. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Happy Thursday or Friday Eve, however you want to look at it. Tomorrow's Friday, so it's going to be a great day. We're going to have a good time in here. Roger will be back. He's been up in Oklahoma speaking at the ASA conference the last couple days. He will be back in here for tomorrow, though, guys. I hope y'all have a wonderful Thursday out there, and I hope to see you back in here tomorrow, guys. Get out there, stay safe, and hit it effing hard. See you tomorrow. Bye.